December 20th, 2018. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 170 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Mike, I am a convert.
To what?
To face Up Pai Gow Poker.
Oh, God.
This last week, you were working late.
Yeah.
So I went up early by myself. So we drove separately to the casino. And I decided, well, I'm not going to play craps till Mike gets here. I think I'll either play bubble craps or I'll try face Up Pai Gow Poker, which I hadn't played yet. So I sat down and played it. Yeah, I love it. It's and you were talking about, oh, where's the fun in that? But sometimes the hands can be really interesting. There was one that I showed you before we started. It's a little complicated to explain on the air, but it makes it interesting. It was a push that would have been a loss.
Yeah, it's basically you played a hand. There was no way in the world you'd ever play that way.
In regular Pai Gow.
In regular Pai Gow. No way would it even occur to you to play that way, but you played that way to get a push instead of a loss.
Right, and then there was another hand where the dealer had king high, and I had a pair of aces with no head. The head is the two-card hand, the top. A pair of aces, so I split up the aces, which you would never do either, right? Because the dealer had king high, was able to win on that.
Yeah.
And only once when I was playing did the dealer get an ace high, which is a push for all players. But I would have pushed anyway, because I don't know, I had like a straight with no head, something like that. So.
How was the pace of the game?
Wonderful.
It was?
Yeah, Mike, it's just as fast, if not faster, than regular Pai Gow Poker.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no commission.
Yeah, that's
right. So they don't have to do that at all, right?
Right. There's none of that.
Don't have to figure it out.
Well, and plus you see the dealer's hand immediately, so people can set their hands probably faster. They're not vacillating.
They don't have to. Yeah.
Should I play two pair or should I play pair?
Right.
They just know automatically what they should do, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think it was Todd Goddess who said that really what you should do is don't even look at your hand. And in fact, nobody at my table was looking at their hand until the dealer had exposed their hand.
Right.
Wait to see what the dealer's going to play to see what you need to do.
And then
what
get
you
it
need
in
to
your
beat.
head what you need to beat.
Yeah, right. And don't just set it normally. Like that one I showed you earlier, I actually had to think about it for a second, right? I think so.
Right.
But
all right. Well, then let's see how much. Now here's the real clincher.
All right.
Did you win or lose?
Well,
face up Pai.
I lost at face up Pai Gow, but I would have lost $50 more if I'd been playing regular Pai Gow Poker. Plus all the Andes, all the big.
So wait a minute. You would have lost more playing regular, but you lost playing face up. Maybe you should play craps, which you won at.
That's
for
always
the night,
guarantee. Well,
right?
okay, I did on that particular night.
You did win.
I can't fight that logic, Dr. Mike. Well done.
So you played two games, and one you won at, one you lost, but you're really excited about the one you lost at.
I'm excited because I don't think I'm going to go back to regular Pai Gow Poker unless there's no choice. So anybody on any of these trips coming up or anything, if you want to play some face up Pai Gow Poker, I'd love to join you.
Right.
I think there's an event maybe coming up in April. I think that Cousin Vito kind of alluded to it on his show. So there may be something coming up.
Maybe you'll get a big group to play face up Pai Gow.
Yep, that's it.
So let's see. Let's just recap. You're never playing regular Pai Gow again. You're only playing face up.
If there's a choice,
right?
And I'm not going to play like $100 face up Pai Gow versus $25 regular Pai Gow Poker, right?
Well, you're full of like ultimatums. That it's just like you're not watching the Chargers anymore, rooting for them because they moved to L.A.
Yeah,
you're not playing regular Pai Gow anymore. See, I keep my options open.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're saying that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun when the tables are turned, isn't it?
Well, I guess I am a little stubborn when it comes to certain things, but so are you. So we'll just call it.
I usually get the grief for it, though.
Yeah,
this is one time I can give you some grief for being a little stubborn.
So get this. We're playing craps the other night, right? And I don't know what happened. The dice went off the table or somebody bought in. And I said, my bets are off, Wendy. My bets are off. And so you go, duck, 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 back, 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 back. Next roll, 7 out.
Right.
And suddenly you shut up. And then later on, somebody made a point and Wendy said to you, oh, Mike, you lowered your bet. And you said something like, yeah, I'm just trying to see how it goes. And so I go, back, 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 what? And it was great because the next roll was going to be the come out roll anyway. So
Right.
that was sweet.
And 7 did come up the next roll.
Well, that's fine. It's a come out roll.
Right. Well, because when the 7 came up, you said, you see what brought that out?
Oh, that's true.
Right.
The clucking.
The clucking brought the 7 out.
You really need a 7. Clucking, that's a new superstition.
That's a new
clucking
superstition
at the
we have
table.
now. Yeah. Because then when the come out roll, it was 7 on the come out. And Wendy said, "Oh, I guess it's the clucking."
All right. Well, here's another game that I played at Harrah's Southern California that I'm not quite as crazy about.
Okay. Yeah, this one you didn't like and you didn't do well at it.
No. Okay. So sometimes when they feature new games at Harrah's Southern California, it's kind of at this end cap table. Right. It's right by the cashier. It's very visible. They want to see how much traffic they can generate.
The elevators, when you come into the casino or the front door, you have to see.
Yeah, it's like the first table. Yeah. Right. So this game was called Premium Hold'em. And the closest, it's kind of a variation on Ultimate Texas Hold'em, except the player and the dealer are dealt 3 down cards, and there are 4 cards on the board instead of 5. So you make your 5-card hand with, your 3 and then the shared 4 on the board. So in Ultimate Texas Hold'em, you make your bets, and then you get your 2 cards, and you can increase your bet or check, and then there's a flop of 3 cards. Once again, you can increase your bet if you haven't already done so, or check. And finally, the last 2 cards of the board are revealed, and then you can increase your bet, or at that point, you have to fold. That's Ultimate Texas Hold'em, right? That's a pretty popular game now. Of the carnival games, it's gaining popularity.
It's very popular.
Yeah. So, and the only reason I bring this up is to kind of emphasize the differences between Ultimate Texas Hold'em and this new game, Premium Hold'em. In Ultimate Texas Hold'em, you have 3 chances to increase your bet before you have to fold or, make a decision. 3 chances. So in Premium Hold'em, you and the dealer are both dealt 3 cards down. As soon as you look at your cards, you can make a play bet equal to 3 times your ante bet, or you can check. And then all 4 community cards come out at once. And then at that point, you can make a play bet equal to or double your ante bet, or you can fold. So those are the only, 2 times there.
Right.
So in Premium Hold'em, you just have 2 opportunities to increase your bet before you fold. Otherwise, the mechanics are similar to Ultimate Texas Hold'em. Now, the payouts, I'm not going to go through all the specific payouts because I don't think this game is going to catch on. I think it might actually have an easier basic strategy. And in fact, Steve at discountgambling.net figured that if played correctly, it has a lower house edge than Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, well, there's fewer opportunities to raise your bet. That would make sense.
I guess. I mean, you have to go through the math to actually figure it out. But, Ultimate Texas Hold'em's already established itself as a pretty popular carnival game. And, a variation on that, I just don't see it catching on. In fact, the dealer I had, his attitude, he didn't say this, but his attitude was kind of like, yeah, this game sucks.
Right, yeah.
Didn't you get that sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was watching over your shoulder. He definitely was not thrilled dealing it. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, anytime you put premium in front of something, look out. Seriously, in life, if you buy the premium stewed tomatoes, they're the same stewed tomatoes in the cheap brand. They just put premium in front
Really? But they cost more.
But they cost more, right. You're getting screwed anytime premium is put in front of something.
Okay, so avoid premium.
Premium. Watch for the word premium. It's
okay,
bad.
so avoid premium.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't think this game's going to catch on. They've already removed it from the floor. Last time we were up there, they were tearing the table apart, right? Yeah. So, but I only bring it up because we played it. Speaking of new table games, if you're interested in learning some new games, Michael Shackelford, a.k.a. the Wizard of Odds, recently attended the Cutting Edge Table Games Conference at Paris, Las Vegas. It's a kind of like G2E, except it's just table games. It's no machines, no video poker, anything like that. Anyway, he has posted a ton of videos explaining the games and interviewing the people who are presenting the games. Just go to youtube.com/theoddsmustbecrazy, all one word, the odds must be crazy, and click on videos. He's got a bunch of them up there that's really good, so check that out.
I'm laughing because at premium, you didn't play very long.
No, I didn't.
You didn't win a hand. Right?
I think I won 1 hand.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean,
remember I had 2 pair. Remember I said, hey, oh, look, I had like a crappy 3 cards, but then when the board came out, I had 2 pair, right? And won with that, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do remember.
But that was the only hand.
Yeah, I remember sitting there thinking, is he ever going to win a hand? I mean, because it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was bad. And I wasn't making any of the side bets. A lot of times the side bets are where you make your money, right?
Yeah, I don't think any of them would have paid.
Oh, no.
We were watching.
I was very lucky to have not made any of the
Yeah.
side bets. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I got a little something special for Tim Lawson here. You ready?
All right.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Matt.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Matt from Collegeville. We're on the Vegas Blitz. You have to do at least one bet, one drink at each casino. We're trying to do 52 today. Progress report. So far, we are at Paris, Casino Royale, Mirage, TI, Venetian, Palazzo, Wynn, and Encore. I'll check in later. Okay, bye-bye.
52 casinos they're going to try to do.
Wow, in a day.
And we're going to hear back from Matt.
I'll tell you what, I could never do that. Because you couldn't get me out of a casino that fast. I mean, you've got to really get in and get out.
It's
right?
got one bet, one drink.
Yeah.
Right.
That I could do. It's just that I wouldn't stop at one bet.
That's the thing. You wouldn't stop right there. Now, we received this call from Matt at 5:45 p.m. And we're going to get some more calls from him later. So we'll see how he's doing. Okay.
It's interesting to see his progress through the casinos.
Yep. All right. Next up is Cody.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike, this is Cody from Alabama calling about the closing of the Tunica Roadhouse. Listening on this latest episode's podcast, you mentioned it. Sad to see that property go. It's actually right next door to the other Caesars property that's in Tunica, the Horseshoe. You could actually stand outside and throw a football and hit one building from the other. So they're literally right next door to each other. The letter I got in the mail said that they were going to keep the actual hotel part of the Tunica Roadhouse open, but just close the casino. The Tunica area, as you guys mentioned, has struggled pretty mightily in the last few years. I think I read a story in the Memphis Commercial Appeal that said in 2006, the revenue from gambling in the Tunica area was $1.6 billion, and in 2017, that number had dropped to $880 million. So it's roughly half of what the profit was just, a decade before. And I think there's several reasons for that. One, the story mentioned the 2011 flooding that really damaged the area and damaged a few properties in Tunica. The Mississippi River flooded during that time period. Another reason is just kind of the expansion of gambling in Arkansas for sure, and then also in Missouri, which, took a lot of the clients and customers from the area. But, I guess my question is, have you guys heard of another area in the country maybe that's been hit? I know Atlantic City's kind of been up and down in recent years, but, there are other areas of the country that, at one time were kind of gambling hotbeds, but they've, business or the economy's really driven them down. Anyway, enjoy the show. Thanks.
I can only really think of Atlantic City. That's kind of the obvious one.
That's an obvious one. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, in 2008, when the economy took a dump, Vegas definitely took a hurt.
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, I got so many more offers after that from casinos at places I hadn't been in years, but they're, sending me offers trying to get you to come, right? Because nobody was going, right?
I think that's actually Vegas. You could say Vegas is a victim of
the Indian casinos.
The Indian casinos and all of that stuff, but they were smart and they sort of reinvented themselves. I mean, gambling's still a huge part of it, but gambling revenue is way down, at least as far as strip casinos go.
Right, sure.
And it's much more event driven as far as, shows and restaurants and clubs and stuff like that. Yep. So yeah, Vegas might be the other answer. It's just that, they had another plan.
I would like to see what gambling has done in the last 10 years.
Well, you can look all that stuff up.
I mean, I'm sure it's down.
Oh, well, it's definitely down. Yeah. As far as gambling revenue goes, it's down. But then other things are up. The hotels.
Right.
We're talking about
it became a destination and not a gambler's thing. And you see that a lot.
Yeah, we're talking about the Strip. We're not talking about local properties or even downtown where gambling is still king.
Well, local properties probably stay pretty steady because they're getting their revenue mostly from locals, whereas the Strip gets most of their revenue from people coming. And I think a lot of that is affected by, I know Californians, there are so many Indian casinos now in California that's got to hurt Vegas.
Right.
I mean, look at us. Sure. We definitely go less.
We go a lot less. Yeah. But in a place like Tunica, I think you're right. Tunica is a place where people would go to gamble. It's not like there were a lot of locals going to Tunica. There's nothing there, really.
That's people going to gamble, right? Yeah. And they're probably more hurt by economy than like Indian casinos and stuff like that. Although I'm sure that has some effect.
Yeah, and people just aren't thinking, oh, let's go to Tunica, because they're either thinking, let's go to our local place or let's go to Biloxi again. They're not that close,
Right.
but so. All right, let's hear from Adam.
Hey guys, it's Adam from Connecticut. Quick report from MGM Springfield. Just got done playing. It's been a little while since I played. Walked out with a little bit of extra money in my pocket. I started doing, Dr. Mike started speaking on my shoulder as the devil. What I'm doing with each shooter is I'm throwing $1 on each hardway. When it hits, I parlay it, and then I start collecting from there. So up a little bit of money. One bad thing is they took away the all tall, all small. I guess what happened was the company that owns that bet had a problem with their licensing agreement, so they took it away. But from what I heard, they're trying to get the fire bet approved for those tables, so that'll be great. Anyway, it was a pretty good trip. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Thanks.
That's interesting because MGM Springfield, just opened, right? So
right. So wouldn't they have that worked out ahead of time?
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Well, I'd like it if the fire bet came back.
Yeah, it's disappearing so much. Maybe it's going to start reappearing in certain places.
It'd be nice if it did because it saves me money.
Because you're betting too much on all tall small, you're not betting as much.
I'm not nearly betting as much on the fire bet.
Yeah. Well, good. When you're in March, when you're in Boston and you go to MGM Springfield,
Right.
which you've promised to do, I think you swore to that, actually.
No, I didn't swear to it, and I didn't promise anything.
All right. Well, maybe there'll be a fire bet there if you go.
Yeah. We'll see. We've got a lot to do in Boston.
Yeah.
Turns out there's stuff to do in Boston.
Really? That whole
besides
area?
gamble. Yeah.
Interesting.
Who would have thought?
All right. Let's see how Matt and his buddies are doing.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. Matt from Collegeville again here, still on the Vegas Blitz. So, since I last talked to you, we did lots of fun. Circus, SLS, Aztec, Stratosphere, the D, El Cortez, Fremont, Four Queens, Binions, Golden Nugget, Golden Gate, and the Plaza. One thing we found that was interesting was Binions apparently has 2-ball roulette. So I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but it shoots 2 balls out at the same time. So you actually end up with 2 numbers. So that was kind of cool. I'll check it with you later. Okay, bye-bye.
We got that call at 12:45 a.m. And it's we haven't talked about this double ball roulette. It's a gimmick. It's one of those things that, just isn't going to catch on, but it's kind of fun to see. So
yeah. Well, we're used to single balls.
Yeah, that's you got that right, Dr. Mike. All right, next call.
Hey, how's it going, Mark and Dr. Mike? This is Randy from New York, one of your younger listeners. I'm 25, and what do you know? My favorite game is craps. I just had a question on how to improve my playing style. I usually play the pass line with double odds and 2 numbers up top, and when I roll, I'm usually making other people tons of money, but I'm just a little up over my buy-in. Should I be covering the numbers up top and maybe throw some money on the hard ways? That's one of my biggest questions. Thanks. Love the show. Hope to see you guys in AC one day. Bye-bye.
Randy, you're doing fine, all right?
Most definitely you should cover all the numbers and make the hard way bets.
Oh, Dr. Mike.
As soon as he said that, I'm thinking, oh, God, he's asking the wrong 2 people.
Hey, big rolls, of course, you're going to see people making a lot of money. But, those same people who are making tons of cash, they're losing a lot, too, when the dice get cold.
Right,
and they're going to get cold.
And the older he gets and the longer he plays, that's going to become very apparent.
Right. So, no, don't think about making money at the craps table. Think about having fun.
Right.
Because in the long run,
if you happen to make
it.
a little money,
then that's nice.
Great.
Yeah, if you're making a little bit for yourself, you're ahead of the game.
Right. Good advice for our young listener.
Very good advice.
Now, when he comes to play with us,
it'll be a whole different story.
I'll give him the real scoop.
That's right. Randy, cover the numbers. You don't have enough hop bets out there.
Yeah, really. Hop the 3 on every roll.
All right, let's check in with Matt again.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. Update on the Blitz. Just got done with the Main Street Station, California, Downtown Grand, Westgate, Silver 7, Hard Rock, Tuscany, and Ellis Island. One interesting about Tuscany there, when we walked in the door, they didn't say welcome or, hey, do you want to play some giving games? They said, are you lost? Which I found interesting. So it's kind of an interesting business model there. They were trying to give us a direction to somewhere else, or I don't know. And we also lost a person. We're down, we started with 3 people doing the Blitz. We're down to 2. So we dropped at number 24. So 29 casinos in, 29 drinks, 29 bets. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So one person at least dropped out.
Yeah, and that call was at 6:41 a.m.
Right.
So that's over 12 hours from the first call, which was 5:40.
And it's overnight, too.
It's overnight. Yeah, it's the next morning.
Yep.
You know, those drinks got to start getting harder after 7 a.m.
Oh, my gosh. We'll see. Are they going to make the 52?
Well,
Do you think they'll make the 52?
I think they'll make it. But if you only have one drink and then you move and go somewhere, it's probably a little easier. If you had like 5 drinks.
No, I understand that. But 52 drinks?
Yeah,
I mean, even watered down drinks, 52 drinks.
52 drinks are a lot. What was the... Are you lost?
That would be great.
I mean,
for
I
anywhere.
only get
you
that.
go into Walmart.
Yeah.
Are you lost?
We should do that from now on. When we get off a plane, as we're disembarking and we come out into the area where people are waiting to get on the plane, we just stop and ask somebody, "Are you lost?"
They would just keep doing it down the line. Are you lost?
Are you? Who's lost?
Here's something so stupid. We used to, whenever we'd get off a plane from Vegas, when we'd be home, all right, and we're walking out to the parking lot to our cars. So we have arrived in San Diego, and we're walking the cars. Mike would pick a random person walking towards the gates and say, "Welcome to San Diego," which made no sense at all. They're if anything, they're leaving San Diego.
Right, they've already been here.
You did that so often. Of course, I never laughed at the time. I always thought it was so stupid. Welcome to San Diego.
The looks you get of people is like, what? I would never do that. That you've made that up, Mark, because I'm too shy to do that.
That is true. Why would I make up a story that lame? All right, next up is Jamie.
Hi, guys. This is Jamie from the Texas Panhandle. I just wanted to call with a trip report from November 17th through the 20th. I was there for my 50th birthday. We stayed at Bally's. They gave us an upgrade to a nice Jubilee mini suite, and it was really nice there. Had some good gambling. I hit a quarter slot machine for a quick 100. Then we took it over to the craps table and had a pretty good session there. Cashed out about 200 up, and it just continued throughout the day. We went over to Caesars, and I hit a 3 of a kind on 3-card poker for about a $275 hit. We ate at the Sterling Buffet. If anybody's never tried it, it's very expensive, but it's well worth the money in my estimation. You have to have a reservation. They're booked up for months. It's only on Sundays at Bally's. Also ate off strip at a place called Raku. Saw it on TV on Bizarre Foods America. Andrew Zimmern and Carrot Top both went there together. It's a small tapas type place in Chinatown. It was very good food, not quite what I was expecting. Probably would not go back. We saw Absinthe. Before I talk about it, if you are easily offended, this is not the show for you. There's some very crude humor. It's all in good fun, as most humor is, but if you're sensitive to that type of stuff, I would not go. There's also some pretty neat circus acts, some semi-nudity, nothing completely nude. Very good show, very funny. I would go see it again because I can't believe that it would be the same way twice, because they were heckling people in the audience and getting them up on stage and all kinds of stuff. Is very funny. That's pretty much it for this trip. Love what you guys do. Keep up the good work.
Good. Thanks for the trip report, Jamie. Yeah. That Sterling brunch, I don't think we've talked about it before. I think Tim and Michelle talked about it quite a bit on 500. But yeah, it's expensive. But, it's champagne and they kind of go all out. It's only Sunday
you
at
have to have
Bally's.
reservations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, of course, positive reviews for Absinthe. We've never seen it. It's
everyone raves about it that I've seen.
Yeah. And we saw the Gazillionaire at Vimp a few years ago. He's very funny.
He's funny. Yeah. Well, it's funny about a show like that. You have to be the right kind of person.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I probably wouldn't take my mom.
No, and my dad wouldn't probably not find it all that funny.
Based on, he doesn't like the sexy butt in his face.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah.
So the partial nudity.
Yeah.
Now me, I'm. They should have full nudity.
Yeah, partial nudity to you. That's just another day at the office.
Yeah, that's just work.
All right, here's a good story from Ryan.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ryan from Las Vegas. I just wanted to tell you guys a little something that happened the other night. I live in the northwest part of Las Vegas. I was at one of the local bars called Big Dog up there the other night, and there was a couple guys that were from out of state, and I guess it was real busy because of the rodeo finals. So there was a lot of people that were staying up in our neck of the woods because of the hotels. They're all full down on the strip, so a lot of people were staying up where we were at. Well, anyways, they're sitting at this bar, and I overheard these guys talking, and the guy's like, man, I can't believe this guy just told me that. And he's kind of showing around this ticket for a sports bet, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, did you guys win, And he told me the story, and he was like, well, this guy he has this 10-team parlay ticket, and 9 out of the 10 teams won. So when 9 out of 10 teams win, the ticket, instead of paying $10,000, is only going to pay $8,000. So I bought the ticket off him for $500. He sold it to me for $500 because he's leaving town tomorrow. So since 9 out of 10 won, I get $8,000 instead of 10, but I only bought it for $500. So I'm making a lot of money. And I was like, oh, I hate to tell you this, but on a parlay like that, all 10 teams have to win to collect money. He's like, no. The guy said if 9 out of 10 win, then it doesn't collect as much, but it collects for the 9 win. I said, no, that's not how it works, buddy. That guy gypped you and has to hit all 10 out of 10 to win. So he was freaking out. He was like, well, I'm going to go to the casino right now and cash it in and see what happens. So I just told him, well, good luck, but sorry to tell you, but that guy gypped you. He wouldn't sell you an $8,000 ticket for $500. Anyway, so that guy got gypped. If you don't know what you're doing with sports bets, I wouldn't pay someone else for a ticket like that. Anyways, guys, glad to hear you guys been on a hot streak. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those scams.
Oh my God, I can't believe somebody would fall for that.
I know, it's terrible. It reminds me.
I mean, if you don't know about sports betting.
Yeah, right.
Why would you even?
Yeah.
And here's another thing. Along with premium, if something is too good to be true, it's not true.
Yeah.
That's 100%. If it seems like it's too good to be true, it's not true. Who's going to give you an $8,000 ticket for $500?
It reminds me of another scam, though, that is a little more convincing. And what the scammer does is they say, oh, I've got this lottery ticket. It hit for like $5,000 or whatever, but I'm in the country illegally.
Right.
And I can't cash it.
Right.
So, and they've made it up. They show like some results. So then here, I can't cash it, but here, I'll sell it to you for, X number of dollars.
Right.
That's a little more believable, but it's still a scam. Oh, that's a terrible
if you're going to win
story.
$8,000 and somebody's going to sell it to you for $500, it's like, why wouldn't they sell it to me for $4,000?
Yeah, right. Why?
Why $500?
Well, you don't know anything about sports betting. This guy says, "Yeah, I've got to leave. I'm leaving the city." Well, mail it in.
Right. Yeah. You can mail it right on the back. The address is right on the back.
Quite a story.
Well, oh man, and $500.
I know.
Too.
I know. Yeah. All right, let's see how Matt and his buddies are doing. Or I guess just one buddy now. They're just two of them.
They're two of them now. Yeah.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, checking in from the Blitz. We got Bally's, Cromwell, Flamingo we've gone to, Link, Gold Coast, Rio, Palms, Orleans, Paris, Planet Hollywood, MGM, Tropicana, and Hooters. So we're starting hour 27. We got 10 to go. I got one fun story, I guess. Well, an interesting story. I guess I was playing craps, right? And this guy, the shooter, he made 3 of his points, and then he switched over to the don't pass, which everybody thought was a little strange. But then he was trying to explain, I guess, he was on the fire bet, and he was trying to hedge or something like that, but I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Okay, bye-bye.
I was listening to this and thinking, well, let's say you've made 5 numbers.
Right.
I guess maybe you might consider going on to the don't pass at that point, hoping that maybe, the 6th number would be established, and then you could lay odds against. I don't know.
But if it wasn't established, if it was a repeat,
but some other,
it wouldn't make sense.
I can't
right? Because
figure
then
this
you'd
out.
want to make it so you could get onto the 6th one.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make. There's either we're missing something in the story, or the guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
not mad.
I think it might be the latter. Yeah,
the guy making the bet is just
right.
an idiot. So now it's 4:58 p.m.
Right now, he said
so. This is almost 24 hours.
Well, he said it was in their 27th hour. So that means when he first called, they'd already been doing it for a while.
Right.
So 27th hour at about 5 p.m.
hours. Yeah. He's still awake and still going, still drinking, and still moving around.
Yep. All right. Let's see if they make it.
Well, now they got to.
Really? You think they're going to?
Oh, yeah. Now it's a matter of pride.
Yeah. All right. Next call.
Hey, guys. This is Donald I'm in Northern Virginia on the East Coast, and I thought I'd call in. I just started listening to your podcast, and I really enjoy it. And I thought I'd call in and give you kind of a report of a place that a lot of people in Northern Virginia go. It's about 45 minutes or so west. It's Charlestown Races. It's owned by Penn Gaming, and they have 3 craps tables out there. They have a lot of table games. They usually run 1 during the week, 2 to 3 on the weekend, depending on how busy they are. Typically $10, gets up to $15 if they get a lot of action. But the reason why I'm calling is because I've kind of told folks about your podcast and some of the dealers too, and I tip the dealers a lot, and I like to hear you guys talk about that. It's a lot of fun to hear the dealers get a lot of money off of when you guys win. I always say that it's more fun when everybody wins. And, you know, they work pretty hard when tables get busy, and there are a lot of regulars out there, present company included, that keep them busy. So anyhow, it's a nice place to play. The craps dealers are really great, and some really nice people, and you know, the regulars are pretty fun too. A lot of ribbing and things like that. So anyway, Penn needs to get their stuff together. They've bought 1 million properties around the United States, and they can't link them together. And I'm sure you guys probably know that with how Caesars is with total rewards sometimes. But anyhow, I thought I'd give you a kind of a report and tell you I really enjoy the podcast. And anyone who comes out of Charlestown, if you see me out there, give me a tap on the shoulder, say hi. Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
good. Yeah, thanks, Donald. So Penn, it sounds like their program there is not linked into this particular Hollywood casino. You'd think they'd all have that same marquee rewards, that Penn National has. Huh.
Well, maybe not. I mean, you know how some of the Caesars properties have different odds on craps, for instance.
Yeah,
right?
different things.
Different payouts and stuff. Maybe this is just
like
one that...
Circus is an MGM property, but they have not been a part of M Life. I think, I want to say maybe they recently joined, but it was always separate for whatever reason.
Right.
Circus had, a separate club. That's interesting.
There's probably some legality behind that makes it conducive for them to be separate for some reason.
Yeah,
right?
that could be. That could be. All right, here's another call from Adam.
Hey guys, Adam from Connecticut. Just wanted to give you a quick MGM report. I went today to play in the free Blackjack tournament that they had going. Basically what it was $10,000 in chips, $500 a hand minimum. You played 11 hands, pretty much a luck box tournament. You have 11 hands. There's a 5-hour preliminary play period. Anywhere between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., they would fill a table up and just get it going. So 11 hands, the top 18 stacks out of that 5-hour period moved on to the semifinals. And then that's where the prizes started. So, I was out in 3 hands. So I figured, I've made the 25-minute drive up. May as well play some craps. So I bought in for $350 and cashed out for $899. By far my biggest win, in a single crap session.
Nice.
And I was just started out real conservative, pass line with single odds and 1 come bet with single odds. As I started winning, I started increasing to 3 come bets with single odds and pressing my odds up a little bit. And then, as a nod to Dr. Mike, I went with $1 each hard ways. It would hit the first time I'd parlay, and then I would just start collecting. There was one shooter that hit 3 hard 4s in a row. So I collected on 2 of them, and it just stayed up. At one point I had all of my hard ways pressed, and then the 4, the 10, and the 6 all hit. All in all, a great day. Dealers got tipped a ton. The table boss was freaking out a little bit because they were almost completely out of $5 chips. And it was a $10 table, so they certainly needed those $5 chips. I think they had, when I looked down last, they had 2 stacks of $5 chips when that shooter finally 7'd out. All of that money was made off of that one shooter. It was a phenomenal roll, by far the best craps roll I've ever seen. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Good. Congratulations, Adam.
I like his strategy at the tournament, Go for it, balls out. If you don't win, go play some craps.
I'm glad that he mentioned this tournament because when we've talked about blackjack tournaments in the past, a typical tournament or a very common tournament is where you will be at a table in a round.
Right.
And in order to move on, you have to have the most chips on that table to move on to the next round.
You have to win your table.
Or sometimes it's like the top 2 move on.
Right.
But here's a tournament where they're just a bunch of rounds going on for a few hours, and only the top chip stacks from that whole 5-hour period move on.
So you don't know when you're playing at a table if, you might have the most chips on the table, it might not mean anything.
Right. This is a much different strategy than we've talked about before. Before, with the typical tournament, we say, well, watch how everybody else is betting and do the opposite. With this, you bet the maximum you can and you make crazy decisions. Like you split tens. Right. You double down on blackjack.
Right, because you've only got 11 hands.
Yeah.
And you've got to get as much money as you can in 11 hands.
Yeah. So in that, you just go crazy. You get as much money on the table as you can. Always split, always double down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a totally different strategy.
Yeah, it sounds like he did it right. Like you said, going out in 3 hands, that's the way to do it. You got to go for it.
He went, I said balls out, but he went ball out because we're single ballers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm glad you remembered that because you mentioned that earlier in the show.
I mentioned it earlier.
All right, let's check in with Matt.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike. Just finished up our last 52nd casino, and we're done. The Blitz is complete. 2 victors have victors. Okay, bye. 2 casinos. There you go.
Hi, this is the rules lawyer of Blitz. 2 people have successfully completed the Blitz. 1 has flunked out, technically twice because he showed up again and then bailed out again. But we did 52 casinos all in 1 run. We had to get 1 drink at a casino, and you had to drink it and finish it. And then you had to make 1 table bet. It had blackjack, craps, roulette, anything like that. You had to make 1 bet, win or lose, doesn't matter, 1 drink. Had to be contiguous. The rules for moving between casinos is you're allowed to go on foot or use public transportation, but you cannot use a private car or an Uber or a cab or anything like that. You have to use the infrastructure that had existed. So yes, it took us, 33 hours? 33 hours to complete. We'll have official times for you tomorrow when we're more coherent. Matt is not in great shape. I still think I'm better off than he is.
Sounds that way.
But yeah, we did it. We completed it. We have set a new record once again this year. 52. I will see you next year at 53. Well, we'll call tomorrow with the official stat. And then next year for 53. Signing out, Dave, the rules lord of the Blitz. Thank you very much.
Wow. We actually...
Well, Dave and Matt have thrown down the gauntlet. That's all there is to that.
Oh, my gosh.
They have thrown down the gauntlet. Us or somebody we know has got to break that.
I don't plan on being the one to break that record.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
No transportation.
No,
so they're
only
walking.
Public transportation,
Bus
right? So they
or
can use a
walking.
bus, but no Ubers or cabs or anything, just walking. Oh, my gosh.
That's rough.
That makes it even more amazing.
Yeah, that's
33 hours. Yeah, Matt sounded like...
I don't know if I could stay awake that long, even if I wasn't drinking. I mean, just staying awake for 33 hours.
Well, and when did they wake up? Because they started this, it sounded like maybe 3 p.m, something like that, right? So did they wake up at... maybe they did. It's Vegas after all, but they actually never called back. So I didn't
probably
get it.
Forgot.
They probably
they just slept through a day and then woke up and like, oh, let's go home. How was our trip?
Right. I wonder what happened. Right. They're finding out about it listening to this show now.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Well, the gauntlet's been thrown down.
All right.
Now, I can't break that. Neither can you. We're too old.
Yeah.
We need some young studs or some young ladies to get out there and do that.
All right. Well, okay, we'll see. And maybe they'll do this again next year, 53 casinos. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, recurring donations from Brian Dancer, from Brian and Sarah, and from Josh. Thank you very much. Also, a donation from Todd and Amanda Goddess. Merry Christmas from Todd and Amanda. Hope to see you in Vegas in 2019. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also from Brock. He says, it worked last time. Let's hope it works again. Karma donation for Vegas trip this weekend. Oh, good. Hope you did well on that, Brock. And finally, from our buddy Dr. Taylor, going to a basketball tournament at Orleans Arena and Christmas this weekend. Tara going for her first royal flush. So maybe
all right,
it's
good
coming.
luck, Tara. It's coming. Wait, Christmas miracle.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. You know, the last episode, Mike, I handed it over to you and you immediately said, well, I'm not going to talk about sports. And then you went on about the Chargers for like 5 minutes.
I'd love to go on about them now. Man, they are so hot.
Oh, God. Yeah, that win the other night where they went for 2 and made it.
Oh, man. My wife and I were outside screaming. Yeah. I mean, screaming out the back door.
Yeah.
All of our neighbors are Charger fans because, they're good people.
All right.
And,
all right. Next, do you have another topic for us?
I do have another topic.
All right, go ahead.
We were talking about, things that I've said over the years that are stupid. And at the time, you always think they're stupid, but then you're still talking about them years later. Do you know what the funniest one was?
No.
Serious. And this is Vegas related because we were on a Vegas trip, me, you, and our friend Paul.
Okay.
And we were sitting in the airport, and for some reason, I had got a bagel and cream cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And Paul, our friend Paul, if you've ever met him, super nice guy, but he doesn't like to be embarrassed.
No, and he's very easily embarrassed.
He's very easily embarrassed. So, of course, that leads right into me.
Yeah, right. And you're not easily embarrassed.
I'm not easily embarrassed. And we're sitting in the airport, and it's pretty crowded. A lot of people getting ready, for Vegas. And I'm eating this bagel and cream cheese, and as loud as I could, I screamed out, "I'm eating cream cheese!" And everyone stops and turns. And, what do you say? What?
Is it important? Is it something about the flight?
Like something bad's happened. I just yelled out, "I'm eating cream cheese." Paul got so red.
And this legend has lingered. I remember one trip where Mike was down at the craps table. This was before cell phones. I'm still up in the room. I'm asleep. And the hotel phone rings. And I pick it up. It's Mike has asked to use the phone at the craps table. I pick it up, and all I hear is, "I'm eating cream cheese." Click. So stupid.
That's going to be the next thing we're screaming out.
Instead of Muckleshoot?
Yeah, instead of Muckleshoot, just, "I'm eating cream cheese." What do you say?
Is it important? Does it have to do with the dice?
That's the way life should be. People should just yell out whatever comes to their head.
I think they do, Mike.
As it should be.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah. No, that's right. Gosh, we didn't even see this. Right. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you
prosperous
on the
New
other
Year.
side. Yeah.
Mark, that was wonderful. I had no idea you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.